I'm Lloyd Bonson, and you join me today for the opening rounds of the BRSCC Fiesta Championship here at Brands Hatch. The weather is glorious, the grids are getting fuller and fuller each year as the series is split into 4 classes. Class A for the 1.8 SIs, Class B for the Fiesta Z-Techs, Class C, which you see here, the Fiesta STs, and Class D for the newer Z-Tech S. I'll hand you over now to Richard John Neal to take you through the grid for this exciting race series.
Thanks very much, Lloyd. It is a full grid, 34 cars. Danny Harrison on pole from Lloyd, Andy Sadler, David Knight and Samuel Watkins. The first 14 positions on the grid, all being held by the STs in Class C. Jamie White is on pole position for the newer cars in Class D, ahead of Tim Glover, who was second in class, and John Cooper. We've then got the Class A's, John Bateman on pole in 27th overall, but pole in Class A from Mark Court and Tim Bennett. One lone runner in Class B, which is Sean Banks, and he lines up 34th. Hopefully he'll have some more company at the end of the year, but look at this massive grid. Great start from pole position in red. It's Danny Harrison that leads Lloyd, Andy Sadler, and Lee slots into second position. Danny Harrison is the leader though. Sam Watkins in white is in third place. It's getting very close behind them as well. Ian Wilson getting stuck in the number 4 car, as was Simon Horrobin in the 14. And I think involved as well was the returning David Nye. And they are off. Now we'll see whether they get cleared by the end of the first lap, but very clearly first lap problems. And you'd have to say probably first corner bunching or early race bunching by those guys. But we've got 4 classes to watch out for. Splendid race in prospect here as we pick up Ryan Falconbridge just going out of shot. Then we've got the 78 car, which is Tim Glover. We've got 2 drivers moving up, 2 champion drivers moving up classes. Peter Dentley Sadler, the Class A champion last year, Luke Bannister, Class B champion, both move into the Class Ds this year. So expect to see them a little bit further up the field. And we're trying to give you the best of coverage from all of the classes as we go through. And there, bottom right of shot, still having problems, is Ian Wilson, the Kings Hill man, has not been able to move his car. Now I'm wondering how that is going to affect the race. He's been stuck there a lap, so everybody knows that car is there, so he should have clocked that. But in the interests of racing safety, if anyone does wind up going offline, and that's the kind of place where you might have a challenge, although of course there will be heavily waved yellow flags there as we watch Nathaniel Gollin coming under pressure from a recovering Simon Horrobin, and they are chasing 21, Nathan Edwards. Home circuit race for Nathan Edwards, 21, the man from Tunbridge Wells, former front runner in the Fiesta Junior Championship. And the cars are slowing, and you might see a new flag there, the purple code 60 flag, which is to actually not do away with, but as a substitute for safety car. And what this means is that the cars have to slow to around about 60 kilometres per hour, and effectively at that speed maintain that speed. It means the race leader or anybody with a lead should in effect hang on to it, and that's good news for Danny Harrison because he built up a fair old lead over number 11 Lloyd, Andy Sadler there, and he'll hold on to it. The other advantage, and that is one, the other advantage is that it saves the organisers and the competitors the time it takes to deploy the safety car and then get the safety car back in so they can go green at any time. You can see there Ian Wilson's badly damaged car being recovered off, so great work by the marshals and the recovery teams here, and indeed the officials, for deploying the purple code 60, which is going to give these guys a little bit more racing time over their allotted 20 minutes, because it is a 20-minute race rather than a set number of laps. And that's the initiative that was started by the British Racing and Sports Car Club many years ago. It's going to be, I think the purple code 60, I think, would be a very welcome addition indeed to the British racing scene. Green flags are flying again, and Danny Harrison is the race leader from Lloyd, Andy Sadler. His dad Peter is racing as well in this one, as you said. Moving up as well is Lewis Kent, one of the Fiesta Junior graduates, who passes Sam Watkins, another driver who's raced in Junior formerly as well, and goes up into third place. So Lewis Kent is up onto a potential podium here in his first senior meeting. Great stuff from him. We've seen him on the podium in Fiesta Junior racing before, and he's proving that the move on to the slick tyres really causing him no problems at all. So excellent move from him. Here we come along Cooper Straight. They're greeted by the green flag, so don't necessarily need that, but it assures them that there are no problems on circuit. So we'll see whether Kent can maintain this advantage over Sam Watkins, who is chasing him down. Another Sam Priest, last year's champion, not with us this weekend. There are drop scores that could be taken into account, so if Sam Priest can decides to join the championship after another round, we could see him. But of course, to be in the championship is the best thing to do is contest as many rounds as possible. Nathaniel Gollin there, Caterham-based driver in 25, chasing the 46 car of team boss Jamie Going, Northamptonshire-based man, whose team won the Renault UK Clio Cup last year with Ant Wharton Eels, who's moved up into the British Touring Car Championship. And by saying that, you can pick up that there is a direct route through this racing, which is close, very competitive. It's been very fiercely competitive over the year, but there is a very direct link in towards the British Touring Car Championship. As I say, that's been strengthened with what Jamsport have done over the years, bringing their drivers through. Indeed, another Jamsport driver, Aaron Thompson's moved up into Clio Cup this year as well, the former junior champion Aaron, who's one of the front runners in this championship last year. So the great thing is you've got a ladder within this, because you can start in Class A or Class B, move up to the STs in Class C, or indeed the Class D cars, which are ever increasing in numbers and will, I think, probably take over as the predominant class in a few seasons' time. And then many drivers stay with this championship, but many others decide to move onwards. And look at this move here from Gollin, who's looking at the inside line of Jamie Going, who gets across, and round the outside goes the 40 car, having a very close look as well, and down on the inside line. So a very good move in there, but indeed by Ryan Beck, who makes up the place over Nathaniel Gollin. He's got to try and hunt down Jamie Going now. Ahead of Jamie at the moment is Nathan Edwards in car number 21. So very much focused at the moment on the Class C cars, and they do indeed start to get into some back market traffic. So we'll see the Class A and B runners as time goes on. Pole position man in Class D was 45 Jamie White, and we pick up on Penny Jones, who's there in car number 50. Penny qualified 10th in Class D, so up into double figures in Class D this year, which is great news. There in 42 is John Bateman, being challenged by Tim Bennett. Both of those drivers in Class A, Bateman having taken pole position from Mark Court, with Tim Bennett next up. Need to shout out to Theo Bridgman-Williams as well. He joined the championship last year, had a little dabble here at Brands Hatch at the end of last season. He's decided to come back and register for the championship outright, which is great news indeed. So there are drivers coming into Class A and B who are doing the business. There goes Penny Jones in car number 50, the former Mighty Mini driver. And there in 17 is Sean Andrews, High Wycombe-based driver. Another one joining the ranks of the Class Ds, side by side with the man who was championship coordinator last year, Al Daly, car number 2, the man from Sevenoaks, long-serving driver in this championship. And Daly about to be passed by the red number 10, and that's Peter Dendy-Sadler, the reigning Class A champion I mentioned. And Peter very, very clearly getting to grips with the Class D machine. Al Daly, meanwhile, then gets involved in more pressure as well, rounds the 22 car of Theo Bridgman-Williams, and those two drivers qualified with approximately the same sort of time, so that's why they're still racing on track. So although you're racing cars in your own classes, you do also get the opportunity to race cars in other classes for outright track position. So plenty of value for money and fun to be had whichever class you come into. This is the climb up towards Druids. Tim Bennett on the outside line, Al Daly number 2 immediately ahead. Out of Druids down towards Graham Hill Bend. The left-hander, you've got to be careful of track limits here. Just looking at the qualifying times for this morning, there were no driver warnings for track limits, so really good driving standards from all in the BRSCC Fiesta Championship on this opening weekend of the year. There's Mark Court in the 72 car. Mark from Westcliff running in Class A, looking to bag a good position here. Reasonable turnout in Class A this weekend. As we head back down the order, I can tell you that Danny Harrison is still leading in the number 18 car. As if by magic, we go back to the race leader, who puts a move on Mark Court, goes down on the inside line, then switches to the outside because he's starting to get into the traffic now. And the next target is Luke Bannister. Bannister, the Class B champion from last year, trying his hand at Class D for this year. And Danny Harrison, the teenager, absolutely brilliant to see him moving up. The car being tended by Greg, who many people will know as a regular in the Token paddock, engineering the Super Green Ginetta GT4 Super Cup car of Ben Green last year. And he was around. Look how busy the traffic gets there, and Danny Harrison slices his way through the inside. Now this is the key thing on a short circuit like this. You know, it may have been pole position, but Danny Harrison has to negotiate the traffic, and that means that he's got to be switched on. It also means that the back-marking drivers have to respect what they're doing and keep their eyes on the mirrors to see who's coming up. But Harrison negotiating the traffic absolutely superbly at the moment. This race running very well indeed, and Danny Harrison at the halfway point of the race looking as if he could be turning a debut pole position into a debut win in this championship. Harrison passes another of the Class D cars. He is well on his way. Lewis Kent is still there, up ahead of Samuel Watkins, so fine racing going on between that pair. Kent passes Al Daly, and you can see Lee Dendy Sadler in behind him as well. The race continues here at Brands Hatch, and we will have more for you after the break. Welcome back to Brands Hatch, round one of the BRSC Fiesta Championship, and we're side by side here past the back markers. Great move there from car number 7, Sam Watkins, who reclaimed second position from Lewis Kent. Danny Harrison is the race leader. He's already at Druids. We're looking at Sean Andrews there, another driver in Class D. As I say, very healthy entry in Class D this weekend. Really beginning to catch on now, but Sam Watkins with Lewis Kent for company. We're going to have 3 junior graduates here on the podium potentially, but it's Danny Harrison. What a dream start for this youngster. He's running on new tyres as many of them are, but I was chatting to his dad in the paddock this morning, and he was saying that those tyres have got to last him unless they can get some backers in to support him. And I tell you what, that would be a very good move. Of course, there are so many good drivers in this paddock that need the support, but here he comes across the line and takes the checkered flag. Danny Harrison wins on his senior debut. Incredible. Sam Watkins second from Lewis Kent and Lee Dendy Sadler. Simon Horrobin is next from Josh Watkins. Jamie Going, Nathaniel Gollin, who gets fastest lap. Ryan Beck, Ryan Falconbridge next from Richard Dawson. Jamie White wins Class D. Then it was Larry Cosmin, Nick Sanderson, Tim Glover, John Cooper, Thomas Hutchins and Jack Yule. Stuart Robbins, Sean Andrews from Penny Jones. John Bateman wins Class A. Peter Dendy Sadler next from Tim Bennett, Theo Bridgman Williams, Al Daly, Luke Bannister, Jay Daniels, Colin Newbold, Mark Court and Sean Banks.
Fantastic win there in the first race of the weekend and the first race of the championship for this season. How do you feel?
Yeah, we're really pleased with what happened. We got a good start, carried on through the race, built about a 4-second lead. And then the code 60 flag come out, which held us up a bit as I didn't see it when the green flag come back out, but we then pulled back away, so done us well.
Feeling confident and pleased going into the next race?
Yeah, we're very confident. We got our first win under our belt now, and we're just going to try and aim higher for another one.
Fantastic. Well, hopefully we'll speak to you again later on, and good luck with the rest of the season.
Yeah, thank you.
Lewis, third place in the first race of the season. That's pretty good going for your start to the championship, isn't it?
Yeah, for my first race in seniors, it's a great result for us. I'd just like to start off by saying thank you to TRS for getting me on the grid. Also to Auto Coating and Essex Bodies Limited for helping me out getting on the grid today, and also Specialised Motorsport for setting up the car absolutely perfect for the rest of the meeting, hopefully.
So the battle through the race was quite interesting. Obviously there was the code 60 flag that came out, which seemed to neutralises the race. It slows everybody down. As a driver, what are your thoughts on that? Does that keep you focused on what's happening on track, or do you lose a little bit of the edge there?
It's half and half with the Code 60 because obviously you don't know when it's going to start again, so you haven't got really the bunching up. And also with the Code 60, if we had a safety car instead, we wouldn't have had the back markers so far behind. And if we had a safety car, we'd all been able to bunch back up and have a clean race at the front instead of having to try and pile through back markers at the same time.
The problem there is, of course, that the rules are there for everybody and everyone's suffering the same issue, and had you not have had the Code 60, you'd have still have had to battle through the back markers, I guess. Looking ahead to the second race, what do you think you can do from third on the grid? Is a move up the podium in order?
Hopefully, if I get a good enough start, just latch onto the back of Danny, push away with him, and hopefully for a couple of last laps we can have a little battle and hopefully come away with the first place.
Fantastic. Well, best of luck for the second race and best of luck for the season.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Stephen, I understand you've got some fantastic news to tell us about for the championship.
Yes, I have indeed. We're very pleased to announce that with Sonic Tools and David Martin here, we'll be able to give every one of our competitors their own personal toolbox, and at the end of the season our champion is going to win a rather nice roll cab. So first person to get his toolbox is somebody who has his eye on the roll cab. Lee, good luck with the season, good qualifying for the first round, and hopefully you'll have a good chance of winning this one.
Fingers crossed. Let's hope it continues.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And thank you to David for your sponsorship.
Thank you very much.
Thanks indeed to David from Sonic, Stephen Connor, the championship coordinator, and well done to Lee Dendy Sadler. Here's the grid for race number 2, which is decided by the finishing positions from race 1. Lewis Kent will be chasing Lee Dendy Sadler and Danny Harrison. The Class D pole going to Jamie White, who won that class from Tim Glover. The Class A pole going to John Bateman. He came home ahead of Tim Bennett, Theo Bridgman Williams and Colin Newbold. Sean Banks is the lone Class B runner. Non-finishers Nathan Edwards, David Nye and Ian Wilson will start from the back of the field. And away we go. A good start once again from Danny Harrison, who gets away well. And I'll tell you what, that was a very orderly and very equal start by all concerned. Still side by side going down Paddock Hill. The bottom of Halewoods, they are starting to sort themselves out. Lee Dendy Sadler just claiming third position from Lewis Kent at the moment, coming into Druids to Hairpin for the first time. Ryan Falconbridge there in car number 13. They've all rounded Druids well. They're coming down Scramble Bend. Lee Dendy Sadler challenging for second, but has to go wide and gets a tech slapper on, collects it all up superbly and doesn't even lose fourth place. Lewis Kent, though, looks down the inside of Sam Watkins and takes second. Kent second, Watkins third. Battle on for fourth place. I think it's Josh Watkins in red looking up the inside line. Nick Sanderson in the other red car, number 9 there. He's getting stuck in and trying to hunt down Ryan Beck in the white number 40. The green 45 Class D car is Jamie White. That's the man that won the opening class race of the year, and he's looking to make it a double in this one as Lee Dendy Sadler goes high, wide and handsome, to borrow the catchphrase from Brands Hatch legend Brian Jones, into Paddock Hill Bend. Working hard is Lee Dendy Sadler after that wide moment, and great that he's already picked up some prize here. And talking of prizes, don't forget that we haven't mentioned yet the prize for winning this championship. The driver who wins outright, it could come from any class, will win a test drive in a British Touring Car Championship machine. So what a stunning prize, the driver that gets that. Now, of course, the points that are awarded race by race are largely dependent on how many people there are in each race. As Dendy Sadler has another massive moment. He did a great save earlier on, and through the gravel goes the number 11 car, and he keeps it going. Hats off to Dendy Sadler. Could have thrown it away, not once but twice. 2 great saves from Dendy Sadler. He's lost a lot of ground, but he is still racing. He's going to have a lot of dirt on his tyres, so he's going to have to get that off and then resume the chase. So we'll see where Lee can finish, but he's lost a lot of ground. This, though, is the battle between the 2 team owners. Simon Horrobin in the orange car, the Specialised Motorsport team boss, and Northamptonshire-based Jamsport team boss Jamie Going. Jamsport and Specialised, both very successful teams, and it's great to see these 2 team bosses going head-to-head. And Horrobin is monstering Jamie Going at the moment. There might be an opportunity here if Going goes for the full racing line, wide into clearways. He doesn't. Horrobin Meanwhile, he's going to go for the run, maybe up the inside, going, nips across, safely across in front of Horobin, who might look to, what's he going to do, slipstream him, comes out to the outside line here, he's going to go for the outside line, backs off, sells him a dummy, goes down the inside, wonderful move by Simon Horobin to pass Jamie Going. Super piece of racing between the pair of them, good clean fun going on there, and Horobin picked up some momentum in the 14 car, he's pulling clear of Jamie Going now. Excellent stuff. So Simon Horobin is one of last year's front runners. Remember, his driver Sam Priest won the championship. Alistair Kellett won Class D last year. He's the only driver who won a class that's not back racing with us at present, which is a shame. Alistair was the Class D champion, but had a lot of travelling, to be fair, put an awful lot of commitment in to come over to Ireland, from Ireland, to win the race in the championship and win it last year. So hats off to him for doing so, as Jamie Going tries to get back on terms with Simon Horobin, very wide there on the Clark curve, leading on to Brabham Straight as we go back to the battle for the lead. Danny Harrison still there, Lewis Kent in second place. Kent is putting in faster times, and as you can see, the gap is closing down first to second. This is the first time we've seen Harrison under pressure. Race number one, he fairly well controlled on his own terms, but Lewis Kent, having got up into second position in that Specialised Motorsport prepared car, is running very, very well indeed in this second race of the weekend. And is he going to be another junior to perhaps rack up a first win in his first senior meeting? Son of Warren Kent, a respected national racer. Remember Warren racing in the V8 Eurocar days, I'm sure I've mentioned that before on the programme. And he's putting big, big pressure on. Sam Watkins running in third place. The white car goes through shot, he's not that far behind either. And if these two get embroiled and get involved in a game of cat and mouse, you battle with each other, you slow each other up, you compromise your optimum lap time, and it allows the others to come back into the mix. So passing the back marker traffic again, that's what the leaders have to do. And you heard the interview after race number one saying that the purple code 60 flag in race one actually meant that one of the is it a benefit that the safety car teams don't get closed up, but it does mean you still get to have to deal with the back markers. It's a good thing for racecraft for the drivers, I think, particularly in multi-class racing, that you have to deal with that. We pop down the order, brief look there at Sean Andrews, car number 17, 7th position in Class D in race number one, and Sean was having a good race with Thomas Hutchins in that one. He was just off the podium in race one, so those two up and near the podium in this one as we go back to the race leaders. And Hutchins has a look on the outside line coming through into Surtees at the moment. Andrews has got the line just in front of him, so Andrews will hold on position. Hutchins going to have a look down the inside line now. He's got a bit of traffic behind him as well that he might have to keep his mirrors on. See Daniels Motorsport emplaced on the side of the car. As well as Specialised Motorsport, Jam Sport, Daniels are another great team that prepare cars here. Any one of those three teams, if you're interested in coming in racing, they'll be able to set you up with the car to dip your toe in the Fiesta water, so to speak. It would be great to see you racing one of these events in future rounds. Now, largely triple headers in the championship this year. It's a new format. I'll talk more about that anon as the programme continues, but you can see yellow flags waving there. Can't see who is off at the minute, but they're working their way through the traffic past the 84 car, which is Sean Banks, the Class B runner. I'm sure he'll have some company a little bit later on in the season, and we'll have more for you after this next break. Welcome back to Brands Hatch round two of the BRSCC Fiesta Championship 2017. You just saw Lewis Kent, who has the lead here now in race two, and we pick up on Jack Yule running fourth in Class D. This is the battle for fourth, fifth and sixth position. Yule from Sean Andrews. Tim Glover is in behind as well. If you're wondering what's happened to Thomas Hutchins, he's pulled clear. He's in a podium battle at the moment with Tim Glover. So the Class D is really giving us some great racing right the way down the order, as well as the superb stuff that we've had going on with Class C. Danny Harrison having lost a lot of ground, so he's not going to replicate his win. sadly he's going to be off the back of the grid for race 3. But we continue to watch this very entertaining battle going on in Class D between Messrs Andrews and Glover. Tim Glover, the man from Yateley, applying the pressure at the moment. He's going to see if he can work out a way round. He seems to be slightly the quicker driver of the two. Now, is he going to do a Simon Horrobin here and sell a dummy, or is the car in front, the number 17 machine, Sean Andrews, going to hold the inside? Yes, he does. And forces Glover to look at the outside line. There might potentially be a gap as the 17 car draws wide going up Halewoods Hill towards Druids, but the chasing car is not close enough to make the move through on the inside line, so the positions stay as they were. The pair of them still chasing Jack Ewell, and I dare say Jack Ewell is starting to get away as these two squabble over that particular place. The class, incidentally, still being led by Jamie White. There is Jack Ewell in the 93, man from Stroud. In behind them is the 31 car, it's Jay Daniels, Lowestoft-based driver, racing in Class C. He was 28th in race number 1. And Jay Daniels running 15th in class in this one. The only driver he is beating at the moment after problems is Danny Harrison. Here come the duelling pair across the line again. Andrews and Glover still very much hard at this. Remember, this is for 5th and 6th position in class. Glover can't seem to get close enough. He does get close, but he can't maintain it. And the two of them seem to have their advantages on different parts of the track. Past the 84 car of Sean Banks again. Sean is running very well indeed. Looks like he's going to bag a second finish in Class B, so he'll pick up some points. Was explaining earlier on about the prize drive for the touring car test. It does go to the overall championship driver. And you're probably thinking, well, if one driver races in Class B all season and finishes all the races, he would win the championship, but he wouldn't, because there are less points for smaller class entries. This, though, is the battle for second place that I was alluding to earlier on, and it is between John Cooper and Thomas Hutchins. And Hutchins, as you can see, has caught Cooper, and the Simply Car salesman holding on to it at the moment from the Daniels Motorsport car as we head back up to Lee Dendy Sadler, recovering after his his 2 moments earlier on, and he's back up. He's heading towards the top 10. He's 13th in class. That's Larry Cosmin that he was dicing with as we flick back to the podium battle here for the Class Ds. You can see it's a very close battle indeed, and Hutchins piling the pressure on. And he's going to improve on 4th position if he carries on like this. 4th position in class in race number 1. Ironically, in the same position overall, which is 17th, but we have to look at the merits of the class finishes. Ideal conditions here at Brands Hatch. A little bit cold if you're in the shade, but if you're in the sunshine here and out of the wind, it's an absolutely superb day, and a great day for racing, and a great day for this young man, Lewis Kent, who graduates his first meeting, and he's going to emulate Danny Harrison, who won on his first ever senior race. Lewis Kent is going to do the same here in race 2. Lewis Kent goes across the line, heading down into Paddock Hill Bend. He's got a big lead over the Watkins brothers, Sam and Josh, with Simon Horrobin running in 4th position at the moment, ahead of Ryan Beck. And then Jamie Going. David Nye has come right the way through from the back of the field up into 7th place. Another ex-touring car driver. It'll be interesting to see. David will certainly be in with a shout at the end of the year. David, a former Class A champion and a Class D champion as well. Class A champion back in 2009 and Class D champion in 2015. But this race has been about this young man from Witham in Essex, Lewis Kent, who's worked his way through to the front. He set the fastest lap to prove that was no fluke. Cut his way through the back marker traffic. That is Sean Andrews in 17 that he lapped, and here he comes up towards the flag and takes it. Lewis Kent, our congratulations to him on taking the win. Sam Watkins is 2nd, from Josh Watkins in 3rd. Then it was Simon Horrobin from Ryan Beck. The Class D honours goes to Jamie White, who had a few Class C cars between himself and John Cooper, who finished 2nd, from Thomas Hutchins in class. Jack Ewell in 4th from Tim Glover. And the Class A victory that time going to Tim Bennett from John Bateman and Colin Newbold on the podium. Mark Court not classified, non-finish for Nathan Edwards too. Congratulations to Lewis Kent on his maiden win.
Luke, fantastic first victory for you in the senior championship of the Fiestas. How do you feel?
Yeah, absolutely over the moon with that. First weekend in seniors, thought coming into the weekend, top sixes at most. They're absolutely over the moon with the win, and I can't thank everyone from Specialised Motorsport enough for setting up the car and building such a great car.
Brilliant. Well, hopefully we'll speak to you again a bit later on. Sam, second place, how are you feeling?
Good, it's good. So, two from two on the podiums now. And I got a brother joining as well, first time. So yeah, it makes it all better.
And puts you in a good position going forward in the championship as well. As you say, 2 podiums now. That's a good way to start the season.
Yeah, solid. It's obviously nicer to be on that step, but everything's awesome as it is. It's going well.
Fantastic. And Josh, up on the podium. What a great race as well. It was very close.
Yeah, it was really close. Yeah, this is our first. Yeah, it's a bit high up for me. No, it's great. Like I say, with Sam as well, it's epic. It was a few moments I could have had a cheeky go at him, but it's been brilliant. And our father for helping us do it all as well. It's brilliant. Good to
Didn't want to risk a bit of brotherly love there then, no?
No, I have tagged him once before, but that didn't go down well either because you have to pay for it. So yeah, no, it was great fun. It was a good race as well. And credit to this guy as well.
Brilliant. Thank you guys, and congratulations on your podiums. Lewis, pole position for this morning's race. It's going to be a bit tight out there, especially as the weather's starting to hot up a little bit.
Yeah, just hoping to manage the tyres quite well, break a gap at the start, and just pull out and have the race from there, hopefully.
Is there a problem with the tyres going off as the race progresses, especially as the temperature starts to warm up?
It's quite hard to manage the tyres in this heat. They do get hot very quick, seeing that they're slicks, and obviously it's my first race on slicks this weekend, and hopefully we can manage the tyres properly, but it is quite challenging, but hopefully we can do that.
And of course you got some chargers behind you. It's going to be tough to keep them behind, I guess. Is it going to be a case of looking into the mirror going into the first corner, or are you just going to concentrate on what you're doing?
I don't concentrate on who's behind, I just concentrate on what's in front, and hopefully just go from there.
Best way to be. Best of luck. Hopefully we'll speak to you later on.
Thank you very much.
Lewis Kent, the man who just won his first senior race in his first senior meeting, graduating from the Fiesta Junior Championship. What a great weekend for the graduating juniors. A win for Danny Harrison in race number 1, Lewis Kent winning race number 2. Lewis on pole for this one from Sam Watkins. Sam's brother Josh behind, then Simon Horrobin, Ryan Beck on row 3 with Jamie going alongside, and then 7th on the grid is David Nye. Class D pole, that's 12th on the grid, Jamie White, 2 wins out of 2 for him so far. He's going to be looking back in his mirrors for John Cooper and Thomas Hutchins. Also Jack Ewell, who finished in 4th place in the Class A pole, Tim Bennett. Tim winning Class A from John Bateman and Colin Newbold, Theo Bridgman Williams. Of course, the non-finishers, drivers had problems starting at the back of the field with a lot of work to do, including race 1 winner Danny Harrison. What a start by Sam Watkins, and Lewis Kent is, I think, going to maintain 2nd position, but Josh Watkins is on the outside. We've got Simon Horrobin challenging as well, but there's a squeal of tyres and a nasty clatter, and that is Nathan Edwards, his 2nd non-finish of the weekend. And that looks like a very heavy hit. That is a big, big shame. I think we might get a purple code 60 again as a result of that. He's not in a safe position as well. So the cars will effectively go to full course caution without the safety car, I would imagine. But out front, it's Sam Watkins. We can't, from the camera angle, see there aren't any flags out at the moment. But they're going to be very heavily waved yellow flags for sure on the start-finish line, and these lead drivers won't have seen that because the action was all behind them. So these guys are going to come up on this very, very quickly indeed. Beck running well. David Nye was making progress as well. Ryan Beck in the 40 car. You can see the heavily waved yellow flags there from the outside of the circuit from the marshals, and there will be as well from the main post. There is the Nathan Edwards car still pointing out. It's not in the middle of the track. He's on the inside, not on the racing line, but of course we have to exercise caution. The car has moved to safety. We are going to go green and racing again. We'll see whether Lewis Kent can fight back and make progress through the field. One driver that has made progress is Lee Dendy Sadler in the 11. As side by side with Josh Watkins goes David Nye. Nye looks to the outside at Paddock Hill Bend. Josh Watkins has got the inside And Watkins here is being very fair. He's giving him room. Now we're going to see Nye switch back to the inside line. Yes, no, we don't. He's round the outside. So David Nye braving it out round the outside of Druids, but with his nose in front. Josh Watkins should lead down into Graham Hill Bend, but leaves the door open. Gentlemanly racing between the pair, and the Horsham driver, David Nye, goes through, repasses Josh Watkins, gets his nose back in front again, and moves up into 4th place. And he's got to try and chase down Simon Horrobin now, who's ahead of him in the Specialised Motorsport, the orange car in 3rd place. So David Nye, from a non-finishing race number 1, has worked his way through, and that's the beauty of this triple header format, is it does give you more of a chance to work your way back up towards the top end of the grid. I guess it might negate a few possible drop scores over the course of the season. So great initiative by BRSCC, extra races, extra value for money for the drivers as we pick up on this trio of cars headed by Jamie Going from Ryan Beck, and then Lee Dendy Sadler, who is in the mix as well. And Lee, of course, had 2 offs in the previous race and recovered well from them. But Going at the head of this group as we head into the middle stages of this 3rd race of the weekend. Welcome back to Brands Hatch, the 3rd and final race, the opening weekend of the year for the BRSCC Fiesta Championship 2017. And that is Lewis Kent, who is in 2nd position. The race leader is Sam Watkins, and Kent coming under a little bit of pressure here from Simon Horrobin, who's moved up on his grid position. They very smartly passed Mark Court, who was not classified in race 2 but had 5th position in the class in race number 1, and Kent is putting the pressure on. Lewis Kent wants the lead back. Here he comes, he's looking at the inside line, he's keeping it very tight, heading down towards Paddock, and as a result, Sam Watkins is tight as well, but runs wide into Paddock, and he's going to lose the lead, he's going to lose the back end as well. He collects it all up. A good recovery again from Watkins, but down in 3rd place, and now Simon Horrobin is all over the back of one of his customers. It's Lewis Kent out front at the moment, and Simon Horrobin here. Is he going to be the first of the existing or established drivers to upset the young guns here this weekend? We've seen the young guns coming in and taking some superb results. 2 graduates in their first meeting at senior level having taken the wins, and Simon Horrobin here is nurturing this talent as well, so hats off to him. So Horrobin busy chasing Lewis Kent at the moment. Sam Watkins after that moment, he was very tight into Paddock. Look at David Nye in the mix as well. So David Nye is still there. More backmarker traffic for the leaders to have to deal with. 3 20-minute races, the order of the day, and a challenge for the lead from Simon Horrobin. He can't quite do it. They're catching up with the 22 car, Theo Bridgman Williams, who dutifully pulls over to the outside line. Going to go past the 84 Sean Banks car, and hats off to Sean for 2 out of 2 finishes so far. I'm sure he'll welcome competition as the season goes on, but he'll be pleased if he can take home another race finish. As you go through the back markers, it is an opportunity, isn't it? It can be an opportunity for chasers, but also it can be an opportunity, if the back markers fall correctly, for a leader to start to get away. Lewis Kent's trying to do that. Kent has had pressure so far this weekend. He's applied pressure, taken his first race win, and he's going to be absolutely delighted with that. The championship positions are certainly going to be tight as we head to our 2nd weekend of the year, which is at Cadwell Park, the 1st weekend in May. Jamie Going here ahead of Lee Dendy Sadler, and then Ian Wilson. Ryan Falconbridge is in that group as well, and we've got a car in the gravel, one of the Class A machines in the gravel as well at Paddock, which may possibly give us the slowdown, the purple code 50. We've got blue flags for the back markers, so the marshals obviously doing hard work there, just trying to let the back markers know that the front runners are coming through. Jamie Going coming under pressure here from Lee Dendy Sadler. It's a very crowded track here, and Ian Wilson's coming up in the mix as well. Flicks inside, outside to get as fast as he can through Surtees, the left-hander, into McLaren, the right-hander, which continues into clearways. When you've got these amount of cars together, normally you can see if you're on your own, you take the wide line, probably qualifying into clearways to get a good run through Clark Curve and down the Brabham Straight to optimise your speed. But if you're defensive, one of the beauties of the Brands Hatch Indy circuit are different lines that you can take, which encourage great overtaking. Although this is a natural amphitheatre, Brands Hatch, it was originally a grass track, but there's nothing artificial about this racetrack at all. It uses all the contours of the land pretty much as the Anglesey circuit does. Sadly, I don't think we've got a round at Anglesey this year, which is a pity. From Cadwell we go to Silverstone. We've got Rockingham, a Rockingham round, Snetterton, Silverstone again, Croft for the penultimate race meeting of the year. Normally we're back here at Brands Hatch for the last race of the year, but this year we're not at the festival. We're at Donington Park for a triple header, and that is certainly going to be one to look forward to. This, though, is the race leader. Lewis Kent is still there out front. Simon Horrobin is in second place with Sam Watkins in third, and Lewis Kent not putting a wheel wrong at the moment from Horrobin, who, as we said, has a lot more experience. Sam Watkins looks very settled now in third place after going wide at Paddock, and I think that was because he took Paddock fairly tight. That's what it looked like, and he ran very wide. But he's recovered. Lewis Kent will be compromising his lap times a little bit, perhaps in defence of Simon Horrobin, who has the fastest lap of the race, just under half distance on lap 9 of this 20-minute race. So Horrobin has the pace, gets close to Lewis Kent once again. Having a quick look back to see if we can see David Nye in the mix as well. Can't see him at the moment, so it really is a battle on for this lead trio. So Lewis Kent comes across the line again, still in lead position. Simon Horrobin would dearly love to take the win as well and maybe show his young protege how to do it. He's maybe got to get his skates on too, because he's under pressure from Sam Watkins. Kent, for the moment though, is further away, and Watkins has a look up the inside. Watkins is piling the pressure on Horrobin. So Simon Horrobin has got his mirrors full. We did see a flash of David Nye there, still in fourth place. Josh Watkins is still running in fifth. So our three races, we've seen some consistency up at the sharp end. We've also seen the likes of David Nye coming back into the fray. It'll be interesting to see what he can do at Cadwell Park with our double header there, where overtaking is an absolute premium. Probably a great job we've only got the double header there, as Horrobin makes a move down the inside. And I was talking about that wide line, a little bit of a nudge on Lewis Kent as he goes into clearways, and he's got the inside line, and Lewis Kent loses the lead, and Simon Horrobin here looks like he will be able to make it. Possibly three different winners, but Kent isn't finished yet, and he looks on the outside line to try to challenge back, but just gets a little tag and now goes back down the inside. And how Kent did not lose momentum there, I do not know. Masterly stuff from Kent, who points his car up the inside. It was getting very physical with Simon Horrobin, and now Sam Watkins is coming through and challenging, but Kent's not finished yet. Outside line at Graham Hill Bend, but that leaves the door open for Watkins to pop his nose down the inside. Kent has more momentum here, goes wide, have to be careful of track limits, still haven't seen any penalties for that, but look at Sam Watkins, who's got the line into Surtees. They're still side by side coming up into McLaren, and is Lewis Kent going to hang on to second place? Yes, he is. This is where the move was made for him to lose the lead. You can see the car is beginning to look a little bit battle scarred, and that is evidence of the paint trading that has happened between the two of them. But it's Horrobin across the line again. Lewis Kent in second. Horrobin's getting away with this now because of the pair duelling over second place. What a super third race of the weekend this is. The Fiesta Championship providing great racing as it always does. Here is the view from Druids. Horrobin the leader. Sam Watkins is hungry for that second position. He's got David Nye 4 or 5 lengths behind him. Nye's not in a position to challenge, and Watkins thinks about having a look at Graham Hill Bend again. It's not working for him. The back markers here could be very much key to this. We've got Sean Andrews at the head of the back markers. Simon Horrobin will be keen to get past him. He goes wide, Horrobin pops through on the inside line. Where are the battling pair behind? Horrobin still the race leader, and through on the inside line has gone Sam Watkins. Watkins is up into second place, and Simon Horrobin leads across the line to take the win in round 3 of the championship. 3 races, 3 different winners. Sam Watkins second, Lewis Kent third from David Nye and Josh Watkins, then Ryan Beck and Ian Wilson, Jamie Going, Ryan Falconbridge and Lee Denley Sadler completing the top 10. A hat-trick of Class D wins for Jamie White, Tim Glover. Jack Yule is in 3rd position in Class D. Class A is won by Tim Bennett, with Mark Court in 2nd position, and Sean Banks gets another finish for him as the lone runner in Class B. Fastest lap, Simon Horrobin.
Simon, fantastic victory out there today. It's been a tough race though, hasn't it?
Yeah, the competition's really high this year, you know, everybody's got to step up their game. I was lucky really, you know, I was pushing my teammate there as hard as I could, and so just waiting for the little error, and there was just a very fractional little gap, and I had to take it.
A couple of little incidents out there during the race as well. When those things happen, how does that affect you as a driver?
I think the biggest problem we've got at the moment is just the size of the grid. You know, we're mixing the grids up. You know, the Class C's are so much faster than some of the other cars. It's quite dangerous. That's probably the dangerous bit of it, really.
Okay, but as you say, fantastic victory. Cadwell Park next. What are your thoughts?
Dangerous track. Yeah, dangerous track. It's an awesome track, but yeah, that's going to be really tight. Yeah, really tight for all of us.
Going to be fun to see how you guys push each other there and push each other through the championship as the season progresses.
It looks that way. I think it's going to be a fight right away through the year. You know, all 8 rounds. I think you're going to have some really tight competitive racing.
Brilliant. Well, congratulations, Sam. 3 races, 3 podiums. Good way to start the season.
Yeah, really good. Close to first. I think a bit of traffic. Obviously, as Simon said, of the different class of cars. It's a little bit annoying, a little dangerous. I think the speed difference definitely through the fast corners, but overall it's been a really good weekend. It's really fun racing. And
you've not been to Cadwell Park before, have you? So next time out, it's going to be a bit of a learning curve for you.
Yeah, I think I might have done half a day quite a few years ago. So yeah, I know how dangerous track it is. So yeah, it'll be a pretty thin track to be tight.
Fantastic. Well, again, congratulations. And Lewis, good to see you on the podium again, but probably not the step that you wanted to be on.
No, I would have liked first, but got to give the team manager some podiums through the year. I'd go easy on him for at least one race this weekend, but no, great, absolutely chuffed with the result. Just like to thank Specialized Motorsport for setting the car up and building such a great car, TRS, Aero Coating and Essex Bodies Limited for getting me out on the track this year and getting us up on the podium.
So now that you've allowed Simon to have a win, does that mean he's going to reduce your fees for managing the car for the rest of the year?
Well, yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that when we get back. We'll put the fees up, no, it's great to be in a team where you can 2 of the drivers can stand on the podium together and have a laugh with each other.
Fantastic. No, it's brilliant. Congratulations, guys, once again, and we look forward to seeing you at the next race.
Thank you very much.
Well, it's been a great weekend of racing here at Brands Hatch for the BRSCC Fiesta Championship. We hope you've enjoyed it, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Lloyd.